On to tourism in Jaffna. Let's just go on this slide. Today, I feel there is a lack of awareness and resources devoted to promoting tourism in Jaffna, and that's one of the reasons why we decided to evolve this evening from the nostalgic view of St John's College in Jaffna to what modern Jaffna has to offer today's investors and intrepid travellers. By the end of the evening, I hope some of you will be persuaded, particularly those who've never been before, or at least inspired to visit Jaffna. The allocated time that I have today doesn't allow for me to whiz through all the major attractions in Jaffna, but I wanted to touch on a few places that you can visit. Being only a few miles from India, Jaffna is a place where the Arab traders, the Portuguese, the Dutch and the British have all left their mark. The old shipping lanes lie between India and Jaffna. The history of battles fought at Jaffna spans the centuries, including the most recent civil war. In 1803, in his book, An Account of the Island of Ceylon, the traveller Robert Percival wrote, "There appears to be something in the atmosphere here, different from other parts of the island, for it is only in the tract that lies between Point Pedro and Jaffna that sheep have been reared with any success. Jaffna is different. It has much more to offer than a career as a shepherd, from ornate, colourful Hindu covils to an abundance of Christian churches, a beautiful Mughal Gothic colonial public library, Kiramalai freshwater springs, and excellent sites for tropical bird watching. The feathered variety, although there are ones dressed in brightly coloured saris as well." The tourism sector is one of Sri Lanka's success stories of the post-war economy. The industry is among Sri Lanka's highest foreign exchange earners, generating 11.6% of GDP last year. Targeted investment in infrastructure development, strategic and promotional campaigns are underway to help develop the tourist economy. The plan for tourism is to identify new developments that can enhance tourist opportunities in Sri Lanka. When you think of travelling to Sri Lanka, Sigiriya, Yala, Kandy and Nuralia all pop into your mind. By the way, there are some seats at the front if a few people want to move further forward. Alongside spectacular wildlife, lush greenery and glistening waters, Sri Lanka has venomous centipedes, deadly mosquitoes and tuk-tuk drivers gearing up to challenge Lewis Hamilton. This evening is inspired by my own desire to learn more about Jaffna, a place that I am yet to visit. This year, Sri Lanka has been named by many travel commentators as the #1 destination for tourists. Yet the challenge is how to encourage holidaymakers, investors and businesses to go as far north as Jaffna. Towering rainbow-coloured Hindu temples, the Nalo Kundaswamy temple, a stunning coastline fringed with coconut and palmyra palms, Jaffna offers a different perspective of Sri Lanka, from language and religion to culture and cuisine. The sun is stronger and brighter in the north, and June to July offers moderate heat, delicious mangoes, and an extraordinary 25-day Nalo festival. The city of Jaffna is itself green and leafy and serves as an ideal spot from which to do day trips to the idyllic islands off the coast of Jaffna, the lagoons and the surrounding peninsula. Overlooking the lagoon is Jaffna Fort. It was once one of the greatest Dutch colonial forts in the whole of Asia. In 1680, the Dutch expanded the original Portuguese fort, giving it a classical Bourbon-esque star-shaped form. The Netherlands government, in partnership with Sri Lanka, has undertaken a restoration project at the fort. In 1795, the fort fell into the hands of the British Army and remained under British control until independence in 1948. Inside the fort, you can see the governor's residence, known as the King's House, the Queen's House, which is where the official residence of the President of Sri Lanka when in Jaffna, Crews Church, which was heavily damaged during the Civil War and is currently being restored. The church was built in 1706 in the form of a Greek cross and is one of the oldest Protestant churches in the country. It could accommodate 600 worshippers at a time. You can also see the garrison parade ground, police quarters and many buildings from the Portuguese era. There is now a room with exhibits for the archaeological history of the fort and other local sites inside the main portal. From here, one can take in amazing views across the seas to Kites Island. There is far more to see and do in Jaffna than can be covered in this whistle-stop talk. There is, in my view, one final destination that you should incorporate into your next trip to Jaffna, and that is to one of the remote, low-lying islands off the west coast of Jaffna. These islands can be reached by causeways and boats. Most of the islands have Tamil names except Delf Island, which has retained its Dutch name even in the British Admiralty charts. Nagadeepa Temple on Nagadeepa Island, also known as Nyantivu, is the only major Buddhist pilgrimage site in the north. So island hopping can be quite tricky in Jaffna. On account of the strategic location of the islands, some islands are only accessible with permission of the Navy, others can be accessed more readily, but be prepared for an unusual journey. I leave you with this one last thought. Imagine being in the Indian Ocean, not far from the Polk Strait, where the old shipping lanes used to be. The clear waters glistening in the bright sunshine. Everything seems calm. The silence is bliss, as your small raft boat dances clumsily in shallow waters towards the island. Thank you for your time, and I hope you will put Jaffna on your bucket list.